It's been 50 years since I came here with a small group of students from Ball State University in Muncie, Indiana, to join the National Mobilization against the war in Vietnam. I was lucky enough to come by car. Some of us were in the back of a delivery truck. We had just completed 2 days of organizing a moratorium in Muncie for 2 days, and all of us were filled with hope that our presence here would make a difference. And now we know it did. Today, I am wearing the same button, the same armband, the same peace necklace that I wore back then. The necklace is tarnished, but the meaning is still bright. My armband has a number on it, 40,000 plus. 40,000 American soldiers killed at that time. Unfortunately, that number grew to over 50,000, and that number is still growing. Thousands of veterans have died from exposure to Agent Orange. Post-traumatic stress disorder has contributed to an epidemic of suicides. It's estimated that between 150,000 and 200,000 veterans have taken their own lives. And we rarely acknowledge the number of Vietnamese who died in the war. Vietnam has claimed that 2 million civilians died on both sides. 1.1 million North Vietnamese soldiers, between 200,000 and 250,000 South Vietnamese soldiers lost their lives in the war. And let us not forget the Cambodians and people from Laos. And the deaths continue. Hundreds of thousands of Vietnamese people, men, women, and children, are still dying from unexploded ordnance and the effects of Agent Orange. How many deaths will it take till we know that too many people have died? So we are gathered here today to honor all the people who died in Vietnam, as well as other subsequent wars, what we now call the Forever War. Think about it, the Forever War, a vehicle of death, dismemberment, mental agony that goes on and on with no breaks. We also pay homage to the villages, towns, homes, crops, and childhood memories that were destroyed in Vietnam. And this kind of death and destruction continues to go on every day all around the globe with American weapons, American ammunition, American air support, American naval power, American spying, American support of brutal dictatorships, and of course, American lies. To borrow a phrase from Peter Yarrow, when will we ever learn? When will we ever learn? 50 years ago, our main concern was about our soldiers being killed in war. Now we have to worry about our young people being killed in schools. Columbine and Sandy Hook and Parkland and now California have taught our children that they cannot come to school in peace. Mass shootings at concerts, movie theaters, shopping malls, churches, and synagogues have changed those places where we used to gather in peace to scenes of terror. Climate change has also threatened peace, since many people have to leave their homes because of drought, wildfires, or rising waters, or the not so slow death of Mother Earth. In solidarity with Jane Fonda in her efforts to stem climate change, you may not be able to tell, but I'm wearing a red coat because our house is on fire. When I led the Vietnam Moratorium Committee at Ball State in 1969 and 1970, I believe that if we could explain what was going on in Vietnam, that people would naturally want to end the war. Plato said that a man, knowing the good, will do the good. Well, not so much. I still believe in the importance of teaching people about the impact of war on humanity. But we also need to find a way to inspire them to action. First, we can share our stories as we have done so very well today. We have to convince them that they have the ability to make a difference. Second, we have to help people to imagine. As John Lennon said, imagine all the people living life in peace. Third, we have to persuade others to try. Martin Luther King said, the arc of the moral universe is long, but it bends toward justice. Bruce Springsteen added, that arc doesn't bend on its own.
Amen.
And finally, we have to strive to find peace with others, our neighbors, our friends, our relatives, the grocery store clerk, during these polarized times. We have to listen to them, really listen to them, even when we disagree, maybe especially when we disagree. And that effort starts with finding peace in our own hearts. The venerated Vietnamese monk, Thich Nhat Hanh, told us to start with a smile. He said, if in our daily life we can smile, if we can be peaceful and happy, not only we, but everyone will profit from it. This is the most basic kind of peace work. So, as we conclude this week's activities, let us all give peace a chance and let us start with a smile.
Great.